Hello mate! In today's video I am going to be sharing the most impactful lessons I have learned from the rich, the wealthy, and the well-off. These lessons are super simple and they can be applied today so that we can manifest more opportunities, live a life of abundance, and make money. Hello, I'm Christina Alexa and I create content regarding saving money and building wealth in a realistic, approachable way. Genuinely, the only reason I'm here on YouTube is because I didn't see anybody else doing this who wasn't already a millionaire, didn't have generational wealth, or other resources they can use. So let's get our journey started. Alright, so basically in this video I am going to be going through like 6 or 7 lessons or little like anecdotes I've learned from these millionaires, public figures, finance gurus, rappers, Oprah, why I have like kept them in my life and like why they resonated with me and how I interpret them. So we're gonna start off with one of my favorite people, Mr. Wonderful. Kevin O'Leary is an investor, entrepreneur. He's a shark on Shark Tank. He's now doing like a little rehab show with CNBC or something, with going into people's like finance doing stuff like that. So just like a media mogul. Basically he's a shark, okay? The thing I learned from Mr. Wonderful is that he has like his one thing. So he has so much going on. He has businesses left and right. He saves a lot of his money. He invests. He's humble. He wears this like simple clothing, etc. Kevin O'Leary, basically he has like his one thing that he lets himself just have to splurge on. Like he just lets himself go, and it's his watches. He's even admitted it. He's like, I don't know why I spend so much money on these watches. I just do. Luckily for him, the watches he buys, because you know he's a millionaire, retain value, so that's good for him. But he just like basically says that everyone should have their one thing that they don't put their constraint on themselves for, because they're just going so hard in every other aspect and saving, investing, being so business minded. But he lets himself have like one thing that he does recreation wise, and then another thing that he like collects. So for me, I resonated with this because in the past I've tried really to stop doing my nails. That's like such a weird thing to have, but I swear that they're just my one thing and I just let myself get them done. I still stopped going as often, I'll admit that, but I just let myself do it and let myself not feel guilty about it because I'm working so hard in every other aspect. Next we have my favorite YouTube finance guy and the newest California to Nevada resident. He lives in Vegas now, which is where I live, so hope I run into him. This guy, you may or may not know him, Stephan here. So Stephan is a finance YouTuber and a luxury real estate agent in Los Angeles. He is with the Oppenheim Group, which is the brokerage that was on Selling Sunset, like the main brokerage. He wasn't on the show that much, but he is like with them. That's his brokerage. And then he does finance videos, and he's like big into investing, and now he's just like doing like podcasts and vibing, and like yeah, I really like him. He's literally my favorite because he started when he was super young. He started real estate when he was like graduated. He wasn't good I think he said he wasn't good in high school, and neither was I. And then he just like is just a G. What I have learned from Graham is to always act that you are like poor, like all, because so basically he's a millionaire, like he's a big investor, he has properties, he invests in the stock market, etc., but like he still to this day is like, I'm not buying a Starbucks drink, I'm drinking my 30-cent iced coffee, I'm not going out to eat, and if I am, it's going happy hour, I'm not spending money on this, I'm not paying for this gas. Like he's literally like acting as if he's still starting from the beginning. And then this is just something that I put into my own life. Like sure, like I'm better off I was now, maybe like 6 months, a year, or 2 years ago, but I'm still like pinching my pennies, using coupons, you know, acting like I'm broke, acting like I have like $1,000 of debt. I've learned from him to always just stay penny pinching, because your future will benefit from the actions you're doing now. Basically from him, it's just like when you see results, still keep grinding. Don't see results and be like, ah, I'm good. No, keep going, keep going. The next millionaire I have learned a lesson from is the queen herself, Miss Paris Hilton, everybody. I'm just gonna give her a round of applause. She's just a beast. She's just bomb. I love her. From Paris, she never like stated this, but I've just observed that she doesn't hold herself back because of her interests. And this is something that I like conflict with in myself and my interests, and then my friends when they're like, oh, I want to do this and this and this. And I'm sure other young people, you guys can relate, like, oh, I want to go to school for this, but like I'm also interested in this or whatever. She does everything, and on top of that she monetizes everything. So Paris is Paris, first of all, like the simple life. She is just like the queen. Like, she invented the selfie, come on. She worked with like Kim, you know, and then she was like a New Yorker, and now she's in LA. She's a DJ now. Like, she's doing perfume, she does a clothing line, she just had her documentary. Like, she does everything, and I just love that, because that shows me that like you can do it all. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of work, and it's not gonna show benefits right in the start, but you can do it all if you want to. Don't limit yourself on your interests. Like, don't let your interests limit you. That's just like doesn't make sense to me. So Paris taught me that if I want to do it all, be a jack of all trades, I can be. Alright, next up is another queen, probably one of the greatest of all times, one of the greatest Americans I know, and that is Miss Oprah Winfrey. So Oprah has so many lessons that we can learn from her, but the one lesson that I like think of when she comes to mind is that you must use your challenges and the hard times in life and the downs as a learning tool to get past. Oprah, if you don't know her story and stuff, she has gone through so much in her life, and yet she has like used all of that just to make herself stronger and not let any of those things withhold her. And she's just like a beast. She has OWN, she had the show, she has again a bunch of different products, she does charity work, she does campaigns, she does like so many different things, she does like food stuff. She's just a beast, and she just the lesson that I've learned is from her is like she, along with so many others, have just gone through so many like weak times, depression, being broke, being sad, like having no opportunity, having no car, being in debt, etc. But she's been abused, she's been like neglected, and she never let it stop her, and she just picked up her stuff, checked herself, and just kept moving. And I really resonate with this, because like I've been down, I've been broke, I've been like not knowing what I'm gonna do for money, I've been concerned, I've been like, even right now I'm like low-key not struggling, but even right now I'm just not in the best place I've ever been. And it just reminds me like it's okay to have the dark times. Not everything's gonna be a good ride, not everything's gonna be chill, not everything's gonna be like ooh, everything's good. Like, you're gonna have your dark times, but your good times are just so good, and when you get that high ride, ride that wave. So thank you to Oprah, you're my inspiration, baby. Next is a quote from an interview from one of my favorite rappers, 21 Savage. So he said in an interview, basically the reporter was just like asking him about his chains and why he stopped wearing jewelry and stuff, and he responded, well, I stopped wearing jewelry because everyone else was wearing jewelry, kind of outgrew it. And then 2, he said, just because you have it doesn't mean others need to know. If you really think about it, look at wealthy people, look at those who are well off, look at millionaires. They're not like flaunting it, they're not like, oh, look what I have, look what I do. No, those people who are flaunting and stuff are actually the wishers who like wish they had it and wish they were doing this and wish they were doing that. Don't actually have it. No, like once you are reaching the goals that you are putting in place for yourself, it's not like something to like push in other people's face and just brag about. And no, just chill, stay humble. Like, real G's move in silence like lasagna. It's a Wheezy F baby quote. It's another bonus for you. And another thing, like he stopped following the herd, which I love. It's like something I always tell myself. He stopped wearing jewelry, he's a rapper, like nice, good for him. Like, he didn't feel the need to have to fit his picture, his group, like his stereotype. So I love 21 for that. So the last thing I want to share is from Schoolboy Q, who is probably my favorite rapper, period. And this was like years back. I had to do some digging on him to find out which interview. And he said in this interview, quote, the more harder you work, the less you're out spending money. I just love this because it just like reminds me not to feel guilty about working so hard and doing stuff for myself. How I interpret that is the more time I'm spending on myself and working for me is less time I'm spending on for others, other people's dreams, other people's wants and wishes. So and just as a bonus, by occupying my time, I don't have like leisure recreation time to just sit around, be bored, and end up spending money, end up Uber eating, end up Netflixing, end up doing any of that. So shout out to Schoolboy Q. Another thing I love about him is he just is like a genuinely good guy. Like, I don't know if you guys follow him on Instagram, probably not, but all he does is like hang out with his daughter, buy bucket hats, and just chill. Like, he just plays golf, hangs out, like just like occupies his time, invests, like have a good time. So I can really appreciate that about him. Those are the lessons I have learned from the well off and why they have stuck with me. I feel that definitely maybe you can resonate with at least one of them. Thanks for listening to my 2 cents today. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, leave one down below or DM me on Instagram. And until next time.